Let's have a look at something which is a regular carry for me, but it's not always something that I take with me when I leave the house. This is a knomo bag. I've had it for a couple of years. Ages ago I did a video on it when I was over in Mexico and enjoying the first few months there. You can see it's a little bit sun bleached on the leather on the corners here. The base has maintained, basically it's okay, a little bit, well, quite a bit of scuffing, but I'm not really worried about that. And again, more bleaching on this side, probably because this is the side that I tend to carry on my right when I have the bag over my shoulder. It's a brilliant bag. It's by a company called knomo, that's Knomo. Let's have a look at what I've got inside it. Today, what I'm going to be doing is going down to the coffee shop. I'll have breakfast there. I'll have my first coffee of the day. And I'm going to have a non-digital 2 hours in the coffee shop, just working on some new ideas. As you know, I've had a busy few weeks getting ready for the final launch of Meaningful Work. But with this bag, what I want to do is just go non-digital, purely analog today, as I go down into the shop. So what have I got in my bag? First of all, let's have a look at the pens that I'm going to take with me. If I take out these two first, because these are the non-fountain pens. So here I've got a viscoglide, beautiful pen, really smooth writing. This is it's like a roller, it is a roller ball, but it flows so smoothly and it has a very broad nib. But also, I can use it on a laptop. If I'm working, for example, on an iPad, I can mark things and change screens with the pad at the back of that. So that's my viscoglide, beautiful pen, and I love the dark blue on it. This one you've seen me use lots of times. It's a Unipin Fine by the Mitsubishi pencil company, and I love it. This is 0.2, so quite a fine nib to it, very soft nib, but they work for months. I always buy 3 or 4 at a time, so I don't know how long they particularly last, but I normally get 3 months out of each pen before I switch to the others. Other pens that I've got in here, the fountain pens, I'm going to look at those in a moment. But I said I was having an analogue day down at the coffee shop. So this is what I'm taking. I've got 2 pads that are going with me. The first one, just an A4 refill pad, hole punched at the side so I can tear out single sheets. And this is graph paper or grid paper, according to what you want to call it and how you use your particular stationery. But I like it, it's very beautiful. And it's very easy I'll just take one out now. Comes out very cleanly. There's no roughness to the edge of that. And I can make my notes. And then when I come home, I can file it in a little ring binder and it's very straightforward. So this has got 80 pages and it's 60 gram paper. So that works quite well with the fountain pen. It works very well with that Mitsubishi pencil company fine line pigment ink. The other one I've got is this. It's called pappercool, P-A-P-P-E-R, cool. I don't know where they're made. Let's just check this one. Okay, I bought it in Office Depot at Mexico City. So this is hecho en Mexico, made in Mexico. And it is 50 gram paper. How many pages have I got? 90 pages, white, 50 gram paper. So this works really well. I use these as note-taking pages. I can write very quickly on them. It works beautifully with my fountain pens, and which is a surprise because it is only 50 gram paper, but it doesn't bleed easily and I really enjoy it. So that will go in the bag because I think when I'm working on a new idea today, the likelihood is that I will do my free writing in here about what my character's doing in a given scene and how that scene may develop and the other interactions he has with people. But prior to that, I'm going to do half an hour of planning on the gridded paper, and that will give me some structure and some ideas for where I go with this current manuscript. Last week I took 15,000 words out of it and I've put them into another file because I think they really represent the start of another story, possibly giving me a second book in a series, but they take me in a completely different direction and they were distracting from the main story of the first book that I'm writing. So what else have I got in here? Let's look at the pens. So I've got this one, which is a platinum, beautiful pen, very cheap, very low cost, whichever way you want to look at it. Comes with its own platinum refills. So it has these beautiful cartridges in there. They have a ball bearing in them that makes sure that the ink moves smoothly during your writing process. So I've got that fed with a blue cartridge at the moment, but that's a medium nib and it works beautifully. This one, I think you'll recognise, it's not a Parker, it's a Chinese copy. It's a Baoer, B-A-O-E-R. I believe it's a 388. I'll check and add that to the description. But it's a really cheap and cheerful fountain pen, very rough and ready. I think it cost me £5, maybe £6, but about $8 on the Zon, and it was very straightforward. It takes normal international standard cartridges. It's a medium nib. It works very well. If I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt, which I won't today because of the heat, that goes beautifully in a top pocket. And then the other one, very famous in terms of the sense that I've used it so often, a Faber Castell fine point, takes one international cartridge and holds a spare, and has a really beautiful, what would I say? I'd say it's almost a sharp, not quite scratchy, but very much a sharp, fine nib. And I love it. Very affordable pen, and lo and behold, it seems to match my green pad of paper very nicely. This is the knomo bag. Inside each knomo bag, I believe this appeals to some people. I'm not that bothered about it, but it's useful. It has here a sign that says the serial number of the bag. So this one, for tracking purposes, is 969, and there's a phone number if somebody finds it. The idea is when you buy a knomo bag, you would register it, and in the event of loss, you can call them and see if anybody's handed it in. It's a nice little extra. I've got some keys here on my keychain. In terms of other things, I've got a USB stick and then a key fob with another USB stick on it. What's missing from my bag? It's a hot day, so I've got a sigg bottle which I'll fill with water just as I leave the house. So if I'm sitting in the square, I can drink from that, or I may take it into the coffee shop and just have it as some fresh water, filling it with some ice and some water from their flasks in the coffee shop. And just to keep an eye on all the things that are happening, I've got, no surprises, my moleskine A5 notebook. This is the current one that I'm working with. I think I've got a page marker in there. So yeah, this will be my new page for today. So I'm starting on 196, so 195 and 196, because previous pages have been busy with different things. So that will go with me. I've taken it out of the Lockby because I don't want to carry a huge amount today. It's just a nice 10-minute walk into town to get things done and be productive and do some good old-fashioned writing, which I've neglected in the past 2 weeks because I was making sure to get meaningful work finished, launched and promoted. What else is in my bag? I'm going to a coffee shop, so what do I need in a coffee shop? I need my purse, nice leather purse which I got from Guadalajara last year. And in here I keep very simple loose change, so the English currency there for those of you who aren't aware of it. Some simple coins. In here I've got a bank card, £20 to pay for, well, more than pay for breakfast. I don't think I'll spend more than £10 on breakfast. And then I'll top up my coffee card. I've already used some of these. So every time I buy a coffee and I go to a place called Left Terrace, which is one of my favourites, I get a little stamp on my coffee cards. And then when I might go in there with friends later, I've always got spare coffee cards for those who would appreciate a nice cup of coffee. In the back of my purse, I've got those lucky coins that I carry. A 1 ounce silver Britannia and a 1 ounce Mexican Libertad. I do find them as, like, how would I treat them? I suppose I treat them as talismans, and for that reason I really just enjoy knowing that they're in my purse, that there's a store of value there, and that works really well. And then what else do I need? I need my reading glasses, so those are there. So that's all I'm taking. It's an analog morning, a moleskine notebook, an A4 writing pad, some graph paper for planning, a sigg soya bottle from Switzerland, 3 fountain pens, a platignum, a faber castell and a baoer, and 2 soft writing pens for capturing ideas smoothly and easily. And basically that's me taking what I need to the coffee shop.